What went behind the decision to fight at 205? Because you've gone from 185, dropped down to 170, now 205. I'm assuming it's because you're fighting often, but you tell me.
Well, it's not a bad assumption at all. But it's also too like I love to
Mhm.
fight, and I don't care what weight
Yeah.
class it is. Like if PFL does 85, go back down, get the 85 title, go back up to the heavyweight title. Like I always have a rule. Like I say, like you care about somebody like a lady in your life, and some guy smacks your butt or grabs them in an inappropriate way or says something rude. How I think is I'm gonna fight. I don't care what weight class you are, what your experience level is. Like I'm not fighting to compete. I'm not fighting to be like, let's get in a fight. Like I'm going to go take this person out, go kill him, and that's the only thing. So they could be bigger, they could be more skilled, they could have more experience. Like I started been training mixed martial arts for 5 years. I've been pro for 4. You know,
That's
so
crazy.
for me, it's like I've been training. I already know that whoever I fight has more experience than me at all times, pretty much. They've wrestling background, boxing background. They've had this many fights. Like I don't care. Like I will outwork, I'll hustle, I'll fight anybody. So I don't care. Like the damage, pain, blood, like whatever people like worry about, dying, like that stuff doesn't like it doesn't phase me. It doesn't like I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm trying to be Mr. Tough Guy. No, it's like I know God called me to be there, and like I'm gonna honor God and do my job. So when the weight class decision came, and I was like, I'll fight at 205. But one of my just like, you sure? And people were like, sure. I'm like, let me get in there. And people don't also realize when I played college football, I was like 245, 235, 230, and then I was also 220. So like, being
Yeah.
at this weight is not like a shocker for me. I mean, I don't really cut weight at all. Like I'm probably like 207 on fight week, 210 at the heaviest, But um, I'm not cutting like 10, 12 pounds right now. I'm down. I'm usually underweight, but I don't care. Like,
Yeah, and then you're full of muscle and energy, right? So I mean, you didn't cut
yeah,
any of that. So I've also heard that
for
the
sure.
lighter weight classes always give like the one weight class below you, like the champion there kind of would always give you the biggest problems if you don't understand what I'm saying. Like uh Islam Makhachev would probably give Leon Edwards the biggest problem. It's like that the guy right below you is they're hard to
Well, I think
challenge, I think. If
Well, I
you get
think
what I'm
when you go
saying.
up in weight, yeah, I seriously, that's when you go up in weight classes.
Yeah.
Like you'll see, like especially okay, let's say for me, I went 85, right? And most of my career, most of my fights are 85 or lower weight. Like I see things like heavyweights and these guys, like they're not so much of like a. It's always about being the better fighter, so it's not always the weight to me, but um, big, so they can probably beat that person again. But they're typically faster, sharper. Um, they're used to going with things like that all the time, opposed to somebody who's in a heavyweight class and they kind of ran through people, and you got to be more disciplined at the time to beat that person in a lower weight class. Because they look at Jan Blachowicz versus Adesanya. He
Right.
beat Adesanya. He gave him some trouble, but he did that. Um, Makhachev versus Volkanovski. You're like, okay, like that fight maybe
Yep.
could have went the other way, but still, Makhachev took over. And Volkanovski, I think, is one of the best fighters of all time, or going to be considered one of the best fighters of all time when it's all said and done. Um, but it kind of depends too, because I would want to see like how Ngannou versus uh, who's the light heavyweight champion. I guess maybe
Fury?
Jones, but
Oh, Jones.
Ngannou who?
I thought
Yeah,
you were gonna
Jones.
say
But who
Fury,
was the
but you're
light
saying
heavyweight champion?
Jones. Oh, light heavyweight was Yuri or Jamal Hill.
Yeah, no, Jones. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I want to see how they do versus Blachowicz, and sorry, versus Ngannou. And I don't think that would be much of a matchup for Ngannou. Like maybe those guys could give some trouble, but I feel like it depends like on the fighter. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but I see what you're saying too. I can see where it could be trouble depending on like who you are. But I think maybe 35, 125. Shaw. We've seen Mighty Mouse and Cejudo. So I think the really small weight classes, yeah. But that middle of the tier, I think it's a little bit more very dependent on who the fighter is.